Class, I will be giving you a persuasive speech on military sequester cuts. Now, I'm sure a lot of you actually don't know what military sequester cuts are, so I'm just going to kind of go through it very briefly with you. Now, recently, Congress has actually they failed to agree on a budget compromise, so it will cut $1 trillion from the defense budget over the next decade. It has already led the military to ground warplanes, cut training operations, furlough employees, and severely reduce troop levels. Additional cuts will not just prevent the military from responding to multiple global threats, it could create economic catastrophe at home. Military experts and the Pentagon have already warned us many times. I can't urge it to you how many times they've actually warned it. So the military faces one of two options in order to meet the mandatory across-the-board budget cuts. This comes from the Secretary of Defense, Chuck Hagel. Chopping the number of personnel or limiting its technological edge. That might mean reducing as much as 29% of soldiers, 18% of Marines, and 3 Navy carriers. Another round of cuts is actually set for October 2013. It will further demoralize and destroy our military. It's still reeling from 2 wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Recently, according to those who testified at the Senate Budget Committee, sequestration was set up to be so stupid that not one group of rational people would ever let it happen, and yet it's happening. Now, this was said by Senator Mark Warner, Democrat of Virginia, one of several lawmakers who on both sides of the aisle who decried the sequestration. Warner also described the cuts as stupidity on steroids and said over the next decade, these cuts will actually cost the taxpayers more dollars as a result of damage they will do to the military's readiness and overall U.S. economy. Now, some of you might be asking, well, what does all this mean? Pretty much what these people are saying, this was never supposed to happen. This is not one of the things that they wanted to be cut. Taking money from the Department of Defense is extremely serious. Now, this covers everything: health care, base housing allowance, food allowance, clothing allowance, civilians that work in the military. This covers planes getting built, everything. Now we're going to go through some of that right now. So some of the stuff that they're talking about when they're talking about sequester cuts is actually, it takes away from a lot of the stuff that